Zom 100 tells the story of Akira Tendo, a man working his office job that he thought was awesome, but as the work continues and the days pile up, it starts to drain him and bore him, with the exception of his hot coworker. However, one day as he gets ready for work, Akira realizes that the streets are flooded with the undead, and he is relieved that he doesn't have to go to work anymore. And with such free time, he decides to write down a bucket list of 100 things he wants to do before he eventually dies. For the most part, Zom 100's story is very basic. It's a by-the-numbers zombie storyline, and there's nothing really wrong with that, but I think the strength of the characters makes up for its lackluster storytelling. For the most part, this is an episodic story about Akira trying to accomplish his bucket list. Meanwhile, he is meeting new people. Some of them are good, some of them are bad, and there's a lot of zombies around. I actually enjoyed our main cast of characters. Akira is your happy-go-lucky, optimistic person that is just a likable guy, and I was really rooting for him to accomplish his goals. Some may say he's a little bit too optimistic and he may be a little too goofy for some, but I really enjoyed his character and I liked seeing his journey. Kenshiro Ryuzaki is a bit of a womanizer, but I enjoy his character and found him funny. Shizuka was pretty cool. I liked how she takes a bit to open up and join the cast. For the most part, she's pretty cool, and she gets way better as the show goes on. Now, Beatrix, in my opinion, was a little lacking. She's not a bad character, but she kind of shows up in the later half of the show, and it really felt like there was not a lot of time to give her some development or anything like that. I do think it's cool that she is this German girl who loves Japanese culture, and she's like the samurai, and she's kind of badass, but there's really nothing stand out about her other than that. But maybe a season 2 can fix that. Zom 100 was animated by Bug Films, a new studio that has only one anime on their list, and that is Zom 100, and that's pretty impressive for a first-time studio. The animation was very smooth, all the action scenes looked really cool, and I was really getting into the animation. It was all very nice. The backgrounds look really good, and I even like the character models. The only gripe I have with the animation is the CGI zombies in the background. They didn't happen too often, but once you notice them, they're pretty standout, and it's not really good. I watched the show in its English dub, and all the characters sounded on point. I thought the dub was fantastic, and I have no complaints. I have not watched the show in its Japanese, though I'm sure it's just as good. The music in the show is really good as well. I love the opening by Kana-Boon. Kana-Boon is one of my favorite bands in Japan, and they always hit whenever they do an anime OP, and this is no exception. The ED was also really good. I'm usually one of those that likes to skip the ED, but every now and then I'll watch it, and it was pretty good. Overall, I really enjoyed Zom 100. I felt the characters really carried the show, and towards the end, I was really getting into it, and I'm hoping for a season 2. The story, it was a little bit lackluster, but it was still fun to watch, and I had a great time, and I recommend you check it out. Big thanks to Retro Hank, Nasty Canasty, Nightcaps and Nostalgia, Ash the Man, Miasma Senpai, and Warp Baits for supporting me on Patreon. You guys are awesome.